One of the best ways to start to shift your perspective is to start to understand why you think the way that you do to begin with. And one of the best ways to understand that is to look at our history. And when I look at my history and my real early history, I'm able to see some messages that I received really early in life that helped to start shape my worldview. It also, by doing this exercise, I'm able to understand where I was taught these messages and these lessons early on in life, and making that connection allows me to actually start to shift the way that I think today. And so I want to walk you through this exercise. I'm going to give you a couple topics to start with, but you can literally do this with almost any of the life lessons that you want. And what I want you to do is I want you to think back early on in your life to the first messages you received about these topics. What was the first lessons that you learned? Now, these don't have to be lessons that were sat down and taught to you by your mom or your dad. This could be things that you modeled yourself after. This could be things that you saw, or events that happened, or experiences that you lived through early on in life that taught you about these different topics. So I'm just going to give you a few to try out today, but again, you can replace mine with whatever works best for you and have some fun with it. Try it out. So what was the first message that you remember receiving in life about what it means to be successful? Think back to when you were a real little kid, you were watching your parents, or you saw your dad or your mom going to work. What was the first messages that you received about what it means to be successful in life? Next, what was the first messages you received about managing money? So what kind of environment did you grow up? What did money mean to your family? How did you treat money? What does investing money look like? Next, what was the first message that you received around emotions? Were you taught early on to shove them down and hide them? Or were you taught to express them openly? What were the first messages that you remember receiving about what love means? What it means to love another human being? The different types of love that exist? What was the first message you remember receiving about happiness? What does it mean to be happy? Was this something that you were allowed to have, or was it only for a select few types of people? Was it for everybody? What were the first messages that you remember receiving about work? What does it mean to go to work? Is it a function to just pay the bills? Is it to make ends meet? Is it to live? Is it to work with purpose and fulfill intent in life? What were those first messages that you received about what it means to work? And then finally, what were the first messages that you received about death? What it means to die? What happens after you die? How do we respond to death? Now, if you could, those are just 7 that you can use to start, but again, you can fill those blanks in with whatever you want. And the real goal of this exercise is twofold. One, by connecting to those early messages that you received in life that started to shape your worldview, you can actually understand objectively why partially the way that you think today. And that objective awareness is going to allow you to kind of shift it, because now there's a separation between you and the way that you actually think. Secondly, by doing this exercise, you're going to understand that your unique experience has formed your unique worldview and your unique perspective, and it's individual to you. And so that means that everybody else has the same history and the same way of viewing their own perspective. And so just by acknowledging that, you can start to have better conversations with people. You can work better with people, because now you understand that we all think a very specific way and it's different from everybody else.